Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today we continue to build decks led by the legendary creatures from the Final Fantasy set. Leading today's deck is everyone's favorite cat boy, Grahatia Scion Reborn. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Grahatia Scion Reborn is a 3-mana 2/3 legendary cat wizard with lifelink. His Throw Wide the Gates ability makes it so that whenever we cast a non-creature spell, we may pay X life, where X is that spell's mana value. If we do, we create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token and put X +1/+1 counters on it. But we can only do this once each turn. So, Graha is one of those lovely army in a can commanders, like Lathless or Alayla. But unlike Lathless, we're not limited to a specific creature type. In fact, we want to play as few creatures as possible. But how thematic is Graha's Throw Wide the Gates ability, and how does it fit in the lore of Final Fantasy XIV? I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. As a heads up, this is your spoiler warning. I know many of you will never bother playing Final Fantasy XIV, but I wanted to have this here anyway. Feel free to skip to the timestamp below if you want to avoid spoilers. First of all, a bit of backstory. Final Fantasy XIV has a long history, and that history has been broken up into different eras. An Astral Era, followed by an Umbral Era. Astral Eras are marked by advancements in technology, magic, and the arts. But they end in calamity and are followed by an Umbral Era, a time of recovery and rebuilding. During the Third Astral Era, one nation stood above all others, the Allagan Empire. Advanced technology that has not been replicated even after thousands of years, scholars today still studying it, trying to grasp what ancient Allag was trying to accomplish. Like all empires, the Allagans became stagnant. Their eventual fall led to the Fourth Umbral Era, but their legacy and many of their inventions endure today. In fact, after Bahamut was sealed, his release and subsequent attack marked the 7th Umbral Calamity, leading to the 7th Umbral Era. The land was rent asunder by Bahamut's wrath, and things long buried by time were freed from their stony prisons. And one of those things was the Crystal Tower, one of the most powerful relics from ancient Allag. And when we went to explore that tower, we were joined by the Archon, Grahatia. Sharlaea is a nation of scholars with a policy of strict neutrality. When a scholar achieves excellence in a specific field of study, they are given an arcane mark, a runic tattoo, so all who see them know that this person who stands before them is not only learned, they have contributed greatly to their field of study. Grahatia achieved Archon status from studying ancient Allag. So when he heard that there was an expedition studying the Crystal Tower, of course he had to join in. Eventually, we learned that Grahatia's ancestor was entrusted by an Allag princess to protect the royal bloodline, which is why one of his eyes is red. Eventually, after an infusion from Doga Anune, both of his eyes turn red, and, as someone with Allagan royal blood, Grahatia is able to control the Crystal Tower. He seals himself inside in order to protect the secrets and ensure that Allagan technology won't fall into the wrong hands. Earlier I mentioned Umbral Calamities, but I didn't fully explain them. You see, in order to seal the Dark God Zodiarch, Hydaelyn split the world into 14 reflections. The Ascians, in order to free their god, are trying to rejoin the world. To do so, they need to destroy the reflections, and they do this by tipping the etheric balance. Every time a world is destroyed, that world and all of its aether come flooding back into the source. This sudden deluge of aether is what causes Umbral Calamities. In the near future, Grahatia witnesses another calamity, the 8th. And this one was one of the worst. Entire nations are wiped out by plague, people murder each other for food, chaos and blood in the streets. No one is safe, and civilization itself collapses. So to prevent this tragedy, Grahatia decides to save the world before it can be destroyed. He uses the Crystal Tower to travel to the first reflection to prevent the flood of light from destroying the world. Eventually, Grahatia realizes that he's going to need some help. So he throws wide the gates and summons the Warrior of Light. Only this time, instead of serving the light and fighting against the darkness, we must become the Warrior of Darkness to defeat the light and stop it from destroying not one, but 2 worlds. Quick note on our commander and the budget for our deck. If you have an effect that says put a token creature into play and then put X+1/+1 counters on it, and a token doubling effect, what happens? That's right, dear viewer. You put 2 token creatures onto the battlefield and put X+1/+1 counters on each of them. With that in mind, this will not be a budget deck. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. I know I'm sponsored, so you may not believe me, but Ultimate Guard katanas are the best sleeves on the planet. They have gorgeous colors, like these new Summer Cloud ones, are durable and long-lasting, and an absolute joy to shuffle. Let Ultimate Guard protect your cards with katanas. Pick yours up today at your local game store, or order them online from Amazon. Click the link down below to go to Ultimate Guard's Amazon store. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lanes and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming over on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. For lands, we're running Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, Marsh Flats, Arid Mesa, Scalding Tarn, Bloodstained Mire, Rafine's Tower, Hallowed Fountain, Watery Grave, Godless Shrine, Sea of Clouds, Morphic Pool, Vault of Champions, Deserted Beach, Shipwreck Marsh, Shattered Sanctum, Glacial Fortress, Drowned Catacomb, Isolated Chapel, Meticulous Archive, Undercity Sewers, Shadowy Backstreet, Bajuka Bog, Sasur Secundi Void Altar, Adagio Windswept Bastion, 3 Plains, 3 Islands, and 3 Swamps. A nice strong mana base. Our mana ramp consists of Smothering Tithe, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Progress, Talisman of Dominance, Talisman of Hierarchy, Azorius Signet, Dimir Signet, Orzhov Signet, Mindstone, Felwar Stone, Chromatic Lantern, and Decanter of Endless Water. Lots of ways to stay ahead of the mana curve. For card advantage, we've got Caretaker's Talent, Rhystic Study, Whip of Erebos, Dig Through Time, Tocasia's Welcome, Archmage Emeritus, Esper Sentinel, Frantic Search, Windfall, Sphinx's Revelation, Pull from Tomorrow, The Immortal Sun, Treasure Cruise, and Siphon Mind. Lots of ways to keep our hands full and dig through our deck. Our interaction and spot removal package consists of Void Rend, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, Counterspell, Dovin's Veto, Arcane Denial, Snuff Out, Deadly Rollick, Unwind, Ink Shield, Generous Gift, Rewind, Fracture, Heliod's Intervention, Akroma's Will, Moogle's Valor, Restoration Magic, Negate, and Commit Memory. Lots of ways to keep our opponents in line and remove annoying permanents and spells. Our board wipes consist of Cyclonic Rift, Dam, and Damning Verdict. Gotta love one-sided wipes. The core of our deck consists of Champions from Beyond, Blue Mage's Cane, Black Mage's Rod, Exsanguinate, Hermes, Overseer of Elpis, The Crystal's Chosen, and Debt to the Deathless. Supporting our plan, we've also got Moonlit Meditation, Exalted Sunborn, Authority of the Consuls, Envoy of the Ancestors, Anointed Procession, Mondrak Glory Dominus, and Abzan Falconer. Lots of fun shenanigans. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 49 mana sources split between 36 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. A little light, but that's fine because we also have 14 pieces of card advantage, 19 pieces of interaction, 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Commit Memory and Bojuka Bog, 1 Sudden I Win card in Debt to the Deathless. Of course, we'd have to have a ton of mana to pull that one off, so in reality, we'll probably win the game with a well-timed Cyclonic Rift. You'll note, dear viewer, that our commander only triggers once per turn, but not just on our turn. So if we cast a big instant on an opponent's turn, we can activate him and make a giant hero. The better to crush our enemies and stop the next Umbral Calamity with, of course. Are you building a Grahatia Scion Reborn commander deck? What's your secret deck tech? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex, Borgie, Nazwin Conga, Robert Pye, Kazaris, Patrick, Diz, Art, Richard, Sint, Boomy, Oscar, Justin, Golden Walker, Captain Hammer, Yori, and Sleech. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.